Here we go. Hey there everybody, it's the Nasty One here again, and welcome back to the next episode of the Buzzards franchise here in year number 4. Today it is the regular season finale, it is the final episode of season 4 today as we dive into the off season today. Last episode, of course, we were eliminated from playoff contention, and we finished last episode with a losing record for the first time in the series on both counts. So a really down year for the young team, but given how young our team was coming into the season, I wasn't exactly expecting them to light the world on fire, so this is kind of what I expected to happen. I was just surprised that we hung in the playoff race as long as we did with how inconsistent we were as a whole unit put together. And then at the end of last episode, as you remember, I did a slight preview for the offseason of what moves we were looking to make. Now these are all barring that nobody decides to test free agency here to start. But if everybody votes to come back, these are the moves we will be making. The definite move that we're making, Whopper Batsman, is going to be gone. We need a starting caliber second baseman. And Batsman is literally just here, he was just here for the cash grab so we could get more money into our younger players for the back half of last season. So he is definitely going. That's already made. That's set in stone. That is going to happen. The Big Bopper will not be here next season. Moving on to moves that might be made. These are people that are on the bubble that didn't really secure themselves a roster spot, and I am open to replacing if I find someone worth the time to do so. Those would be Molly Pops, whose ERA was just over 4 last season. She did have a good last appearance in the finale against the Nemesis, but throughout the season she was very inconsistent. She did blow a couple leads for us, despite being one of our 2 designated closers between herself and Greenman. Greenman obviously outperformed her by leagues. The other pitcher that's on the block is our 4th starter, Trey Mondo. He hasn't really developed like I thought he was going to here in the series. I figured he would at least be a B- by now. He still hasn't gotten out of the C+ range, coming to us as a C-, of course. So he's not on target to be where we need him to be as a 4th starter to make us a contender. So if we get a rookie starter or a young starter that's like a B-, they could easily take Mondo's spot in the pitching rotation. Moving on to the bench, the bench guys here, I don't really see replacing any of them at the current moment. Shane Michaels, obviously a great defensive and great speed person off the bench that you can use in a pinch. Eduardo Electro, he's got good defense and good speed, and he's got a good bat off the bench if you need someone to hit for pop. So both of them are good. Nathaniel Hurls, he's a little on the I don't know what the hell to do with you kind of role, because he is the backup to second base, but when he was given a chance to start, he didn't do anything with it. So we know he's not starting caliber, but other than being a bat off the bench against right-handers, I don't see what else he does for the team. So he's in a gray area, but I'm not looking to get rid of him at this time. Starting catcher Bern Oliver, he has a lot to prove to me this upcoming season. He really underperformed last year, so he needs to step it up. Samuel Perez, the backup, he is getting older now. I think it's time to go in a little bit younger direction for the backup catcher position. So he is on the bubble. Other starter that is on the bubble, Ian Fielder, obviously he's not doing anything offensively for us. He drove in, 2 runs last year, so that's not going to cut it. He hasn't gone yard his entire time here in the series. So I think we need to move on from him, although I do like what he brings to the table as being able to play every infield position. I just don't see the need to have him on the roster anymore, especially since he's not contributing much. And the other person who's on the bubble, I'm not sure I'm going to make this move, that is Aaliyah Butcher. Rookie first baseman was really underwhelming last season. She only drove in, I think, 2 runs all year, just like Fielder at the top of the lineup. She didn't hit particularly well. She hit under 300, and she was really outshined by her backup, Daugherty, who got all the starting time at third base. So I can see myself getting rid of Butcher. I don't know if I want to, though. Alright, enough dawdling. Let's do this. We're going to jump into it and see what happens. Alright, we lost $4 million. So Perez goes into free agency. He knew I was probably going to cut him anyway, so that's a good move for us right there. And that's it. Only Perez is gone. Okay. And looking at retirements, Kerwin Arches and Hammerlong Bala win their title with the Sirloins, and then they hang them up. Arches, of course, left the Sandcats to go back to his original team, the Sirloins, for this last season, so good on him making the right move there. Chuck Filthwick, the Herbisaur's best reliever, he is now retired as well, hitting the age of 40. So 3 players 40 or plus have retired from the league. Top free agents looking like Elmo Slayer finally leaves the Heaters after taking up all of their cap space basically for 4 years and doing nothing with it. Macula Spectaculo tests free agency again. This time he leaves from the Grapplers. Maximo Primo tests from the Sawteeth. The closer comes out. Slash Trips is testing free agency from the Jacks, coming off of his MVP season 2 seasons ago. Gasser Morris tests free agency from, looks like, the Sandcats, and he was their best bullpen arm. And then Felipe Fowl, the young third baseman, is testing, it looks like, from the Blowfish based on that uniform design, I think. So now they have a gaping hole over at third base. Okay. All right, let's look at these free agents. What do we got? Anything good? Anything good? All right, well, obviously, since we lost Perez, we'll look at backup catcher. That's definitely a spot we got to start with. Any young catchers? No, there are no young catchers. The youngest catcher is Harmony Strauss, who tests from the wide loads. Okay. Interesting. So that did not go according to plan. I did not factor that into what I was trying to do here. Pardon me. Jesus. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll start Perez again, because it looks like we're going to be stuck with him. I'll also start Ernie Blings. He's kind of like the same archetype as Perez, both power hitters. Blings does have the high pitch trait, so if they leave it up in the zone, he can really punish it. Perez is the better fielder, but Blings actually has a slight edge in the arm department, although they both really suck at throwing out base runners. I'll also star Tara Leonaire here, just because, yes, she is a veteran, yes, she is 35, yes, she has regressed, yes, she is getting older, she's still a good catcher. She still has a good arm, she's still a good bat. Sure, her fielding is suspect, but she's still solid. She can back up Oliver all day, in my opinion. Everyone else is a little bit too high for backup caliber. Sting McGee, he has whiffer. I'm going to try and stay away from that whiffer trait there. Although McGee is the better fielder, he is also a weaker hitter, though. He only goes for contact most often than not. Although every time I face him, apparently he decides to go yard, but that's besides the point. Other catchers, I don't like Stracy Wickers and Stacy Staples. Not really. Okay, moving on. Looking at backup first baseman to possibly replace Butcher. There doesn't seem to be a lot out here. There is Atticus Macias, who's 28 years old. Looks like he's a rookie. Let me check that real quick. He is. He's 28 years old, though. He's only a B-. He's probably only going to get to like a B or a B+ rating at best. So he's a decent fielder. He's good for first base. Don't get me wrong. That's good fielding for first base there. He's got a good arm, good power, decent contact. It's on the lower side. He's kind of like Daugherty, just a little bit lower rated and a lot older. And they're both actually left-handed hitters, so that actually, he is exactly a carbon copy of Daugherty. I'll star him, but if he's the best option, and it looks like he is the best backup option for first base, I'm not sold on the idea of getting rid of Butcher. I mean, Darcy Hicks is a no-flow on this one. He is a pinch hitter, and that is it. His fielding is a 0. Like, bro, what are you doing with your life? I'll still star him just because it's funny. Second base. Okay, so this is where we need to get serious. Second base. We definitely need a starting caliber second baseman here. So really we have Cheyenne Hill, who tests from the Jacks. Class Diaz, I believe he's a rookie. He's 20 years old. Interesting. I'll start him for sure. Katie Kaufman, the veteran from the Platypi. Okay. Weak fielder. Good speed, good contact bat at the top of the lineup. Okay. Tough out. She can get on base. Elsa Glenn, 36 years old. Probably don't want to go that old for a starter. Jeb Jumps, 30. Okay, horrible fielder still. Good hitter, though. Probably a DH, but not what I'm looking for. So I guess our bets for second base are Hill and Diaz here. Between the two, obviously, I go with the younger one, which is Diaz. He's only 20, coming into the league. he's got great stats, good across the board. That's what you want as a starter, so we'll definitely start him and look to get him. Third base, we do need to replace Ian Fielder, so we will need a third baseman on the roster. Let's see. There's not a lot of third basemen out there, unfortunately. Obviously, Juice Jackson is testing from the Jacks. Oh, man, the Jacks are losing a lot of people here in free agency. They also lost Yamamoto as well. Oof. Tough scenes there for the Jacks. I'm not going to be able to afford either of them, so I'm not going to bother starring them because they're both so high rated. We'll probably aim for like either Hackman or Cooper here. Between the two, Hackman is younger, so I'll take him. I mean, they both suck at fielding. Cooper has the much better arm, but Hackman's the more complete hitter, if you're asking me. So, and he's proven he can start in this league, so that's what we'll go with. Obviously, we'll have Doherty to play third base too, so we can split it up between the two of them. We're good at shortstop. I don't think we really need another shortstop on the roster. We have two of them already. We have Electro. We have Michael. Neither of them are great complete hitters. But again, the two young ones that they put in here, they're B+ overall. They're going to be a lot of money, and we just don't have a lot of money to go around, unfortunately. Though I do like both of them. I'll show them Baca Boyd. Solid name. Shortstop and can play outfield. Interesting. Reminds me of Fletcher Mackey from the Sandcats for my fans from back then. Contact first right-hander and inside pitch. Not a great hitter. Not a lot of speed, but he's a good fielder. He's got a decent arm. For shortstop, it could be better. Shoei, same thing. Great fielder. Decent arm. He's a better hitter all around, and he's got better speed as well. So probably the more complete player, if you're asking me, without traits. Baca Boyd probably going to rely a lot on those traits to get on base. But Shoei looks like the more complete person, if you ask me. It's either Shoei or Shao. I can't really tell if that's an I or an L. Kind of hard to read. Well, it might be an L, now that I think about it. Yeah, that might be Shao. I'm thinking it's Shao. Anyway, not the point. Move on. We're good with outfielders. We're not looking to do anything with the outfield. Buck Swiner played really well last season, especially at the top of the lineup. Outfield Winkelson led the team in batting average. He was like 5th in batting average, I think, last season in the league. So, and he was like in the top 10 in hits, so he did really well. Worrymore, 2nd in the team in home runs. He hit pretty well. And then Mahoney, when he gets the chance to play, he does really well too. So we're not looking for another outfielder at this point in time. We're going to move on to the pitching side of things. Okay, so we're really only looking to replace our 4th starter, possibly, which is Trey Mondo. Our top 2 pitched really well last year, Hokie and Andrews. Bonventre had a rough year, but her first and her last starts were her best. So she's shown potential to be better than what she was. So I'm willing to give her a shot. We now need to look for a 4th person to complete the rotation. And I think I just found one. 19-year-old Trenton Deputy. Right-hander, pretty even across the board. Reminds me a lot of Trey Mondo. Let's compare them real quick. He's got better accuracy, better junk, and better velocity. Okay. I think we just found our answer. We'll just need that price point to come down a bit, and we'll just shovel them right on in. Alright, so I think we found Mondo's replacement. And for bullpen, obviously Molly Pops is the only question mark here. She's the only one that I'm willing to get rid of. Greenman pitched really well in his 2nd season. Pewter Base started off historically bad, but he bounced back in a big way. He had 5 shutout appearances after his first 2 rough ones. Actually, let me check that. How many appearances did he have last year? 6, 7, or 8? He had 8. His first 2 were historically bad. Like, all 13 of those runs came in his first 2 appearances. After that, first inning and 2/3, his next 11 innings, scoreless. 2 saves, and he got a win. Dude was out of his mind for like the last 3 quarters of the season. So he's going to stay. Marshall Cuevas pitched really well as the mop-up man last year. He did everything I asked him to. He even ate a line drive to the chin, and he still kept his ERA under 2.5. Dude was on one last year. I have no complaints about him whatsoever. But yeah, Pops is really the only one I'm looking to replace here. Molly's making, what, 6'5"? We can beat that. Come on. There's got to be a young arm out there that's a B. I can get some high-level names. Obviously, Neverwalker was released before the end of last episode. I think it was by the Freebooters, if I remember correctly. Immaculate Spectacular, he just tested free agency. So did Morris. Overa was released by the Wide Loads. Okay, young reliever. Hesto Despot. Alright. You have me intrigued. B-, so we could get him cheaper than Pops for sure. He has 4 pitches, so he's got more variety compared to Pops. I like that. Better. So they're about the same pitcher. Just about. 53, yeah, okay. Pops is better junk than him. Pops would have better accuracy than him. But he is 4 years younger, and you can build around that. Okay. I like it. I think that's what we're going to do. Yep. We'll start him. We'll see if anyone else is out there. Maybe there's a good closer or something even. Any other young guys? There's Lou to... No. Get out of here, Lou. Victor Brock. Okay, 23. 2-pitch pitcher. He's a closer. No. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. That's who we're targeting. Anyone else that we like for pitching? Andrea Herrera. K-Dud kind of holds me back from starring her just because I don't want to have to deal with K-Dud. Wheat Waters goes into free agency. He was a rookie last year. He pitched for the Nemesis, I believe. He was their ace. Solid year. ERA just at 4. I'll start. The only thing that holds me back about Waters as well, he has no variety as a starting pitcher, which as a starting pitcher, you kind of need that 4th or 5th pitch, so definitely going to avoid him here. Okay, that's who we got. Perfect. Alrighty, so again, I'm not sold on getting rid of Aaliyah Butcher, so we may or may not get rid of her depending because of how badly she did last season. I mean, let's look at the numbers. She only hit 270. She could have hit a little bit better, especially at the top of the lineup. She only drove in 2 runs. Then again, she wasn't given a whole lot of RBI chances because of how inconsistent the offense was. So we'll see if we have to save money here. She might just be I have to cut you because I need more money for the budget kind of deal. We might get stuck with Samuel Perez back just because there's not a lot of good backup catcher options out there that are young. So there's that. Who else? Anyone else? Batsman is going. We do need a good second baseman, so he will be gone. Ian Fielder's probably going to be gone as well. So we need a decent third baseman to replace him. And I think that's it on the offensive side of things. Mondo's probably going to be going when we get the other pitcher that we have starred all the way down. And Molly Pops may or may not be gone. We'll see if that pitcher can hang on for us. Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump ahead and see what we get. That was about 15 minutes of me trying to sort through all that crap. That's 2. That's 3. Here goes round number 4. And round number 5 we'll finish up here. Okay. Did we lose anybody? I don't think we did. Yeah, it doesn't look like we lost anybody, so that's good. Really good. Oh, Bunterson's not picked up. Where'd he go? He's going to the Heaters. The Heaters are desperate to have a winning season now. Love to see it. Okay. That was really the only one I found interesting. So let's see. What are we at price-wise? Way too high. Sorry. Still too high. Really high. Okay, so we're good. No rush there. No rush here. Definitely no rush here as well. Not really yet. Not really. Okay. B's and B. Yeah, we're good on these two. I think Cooper's gonna go first, but I'm not really interested in picking him up because he is 35. So if he does go here in the next 5 rounds simulation, it's okay. I wasn't really keen on getting him as it stands. Decent level shortstops here. May or may not get rid of Electro. We'll see. Deputies at 5'8". We're good there. And Despot is at 7'6". Okay, we're good there. All right, let's get going. 5 more. All right, nobody gone in the first 2. Here's number 3. Stacy Staples to the hot corners. Okay. And Remington Sharp picked up by the Sawtooth. None of our guys. None in this round. And round 10. Still nobody picked up. Okay, I'm liking this so far. Everything's moving along smoothly. 7'8", 5'4", 5'8". Okay, not quite in the danger zone yet. Danger zone for B minuses, you're looking about under 5 million or less, depending on how young they are. Obviously, these two guys are a little bit older, so they're going to go for a little bit less, probably closer to 4 million. With Blings, he might get up to 4.5 because he has that trait still. Perez, he's definitely going to be closer to 4 million for sure. Leonaire, being a veteran, should probably be about 6.5 million, maybe 6 million at the lowest, because she is 35, and there's always the risk of retirement. Darcy Hicks, same thing. Macias, probably looking at around 4.5 or so, maybe 4.8 at the max. Diaz, getting a little closer. He is at 9.6. I say get him down to like maybe 9 million, then pick him up. Hill, she's probably going to go under 9 million, maybe like 8.5 at the lowest. Hackman's at 8.7. He's getting there, but not quite there quite yet. Cooper, I'm surprised he's not gone yet, but then again, I got to remember he's 35 years old. Boyd is 9.7. He's getting a little close here. Shoei's at 12.5. He's got a little bit more to go. And then on the pitcher side, Deputy is at 4.5. That's a little high for a C+. I probably wouldn't pay more than 4 million for him. And then Despot, he's at 6 million. Gotta get him under 5 million, and then I'll think about picking him up. Alright, so then we'll take this one round at a time. We'll just scroll through it, see if anyone gets picked up and if we need to respond. Miles Boyle released by the Crocodons for Naru Bwanga. Ooh, Crocodons making a push. They still have Cardenas, remember. They still have her. Bwanga was on the wide loads last year, if I remember correctly. He was on the bench most of the time because he was tense. Alright, next round, Hieronymus Jackson to the Platypi, former Moose center fielder right there. Still no moves. Okay, Wiggles Freeman is off the freebooters. Jackie Slam going to the freebooters. Look at them. Freebooters bouncing back with a big signing right there. Love to see it from the old boys over there on the ship. Daxton Kruger, former B-Wolves center fielder. He's now going to the wide loads. Okay, I can see that. I can see that move. That's a good move there. Rory Crowds released by the wide loads to free up the cap space to bring in Kitty Kaufman. Interesting. Okay. All right. It's getting a little hairy here, boys. It's getting a little hairy. Not gonna lie. It's getting a little scary out here. I don't know if we can go much lower. I think we go... Oh, I don't know if we can go one more round or not. I'm a gambler, man. Fuck it. Okay. Moose signed Nance Tools, former Moonstars outfielder and shortstop. Placing Emily Knight. Dante Walls back to the wide loads. Young right fielder replaces Casper Stern, who they had filled to fill up the roster spot. And that's it. Okay. All right. I'm surprised. Made it. I don't think we can go one more, though. I think I pushed it to the brink of, you know, right before they're going to fuck us. So let's think about this rationally. We need to make the big move first, which obviously is second base. So let's spend that money first and see what we have left. So obviously second base between Diaz and Hill. I want Diaz because he's younger. There's more room to grow. 8.4 million is actually relatively cheap for a B+ player. So I'll gladly take that money and say thank you. So Whopper Batsman is going to be gone with this move that spends 6.3 million. We now have 13.8 left in the bank, so we do need to be mindful of that number going forward. So we have our second baseman, which is good. What now? What is the next move you make? Okay, well, looking at the pitching, obviously we're going to spend money no matter what, trying to replace Mondo. So let's get Deputy now. He's under 4 million. That's what I would pay for him. 3.9 is not that bad. So we bring him in. He is better than Mondo, so he should get paid more than Mondo, theoretically, so that kind of works out. We are losing a pitch. We are losing K-Man, but at this point, Mondo's K-Man wasn't helping him, and Deputy has better ratings than him, so he doesn't need to rely on the trait like K-Man. So we're going to go ahead and make this move. We're now down to 12-4. Okay. That's a solid move right there, I think. Moving on to the reliever, Despot. He's at 5.2. He can come down a little bit more. No need to push him I mean, it's not like Pops is bad or anything, so if I do lose Despot here, I'm okay with that. I can keep Molly, we can work with it. Alright, so catchers. Blings is a 4-7. Probably still a little bit more than I would pay for him, given that he is 30 years old. Perez is only at $5 million. I can see him coming down a little bit more. Leonera is at 6-7. I would not be surprised if she gets picked up here in a few minutes, but I also would not mind if she went under $6.5 million either. So then first base, we're not making that move just yet, just because I want to see how much money we have left once all of the other moves we need to make are said and done. Hackman and Cooper. Hackman I can see getting down to $7 million before he gets signed. And the thing holding me back about signing him is that he is such a shitty fielder that I kind of need him to, like... And I'm going to need him to play every game, so he's going to drop a lot of balls over there at the hot corner, and that scares me. That really does. I really wish I had the money to swing for Yamamoto or Jackson, but unfortunately I just don't have that kind of money. I actually might have the money to swing for Yamamoto. Hold on. That's still way expensive, though. 10-9. Ugh, for a 28-year-old? It's a little scary. At least if we go Hackman for fielder, we're only spending $1 million. That's not that bad. We are getting a little bit of a downgrade here, but at the same time, fielder wasn't really doing anything for us. So... yeah, and now that we have a second baseman, fielder's usefulness kind of goes down because we don't really need him to play shortstop. Let's look at shortstop, actually, now that I speak of that. Let's look at that. Got Baca Boyd, good fielder. Not a great hitter. Younger, though, has the potential to grow, and he already has 2 traits, so that's good. $8.5 million. He's probably going to go here in a minute. 8.5. What's Electro making? 4.9. That's 3.6 million. That puts us at, let's see, 10.9. That puts us at 8.8. That's not great. And then I still got to get the shortstop, the third baseman thing settled as well. Yeah. I mean, again, 8.8 is not horrible. It's money we can work with. It's just not ideal. I mean, between the two, I like Baca's traits and all, but I kind of need fielding there at shortstop, and Shoei has, Shoei, however you say it, is, it looks like an I now. It looks like he's the better option. He's the better complete hitter as well. The only downside about him is he can't play second base. That's the only downside there. He doesn't cover both middle infield positions, which is fine. I can work around that. It's cool. But he's still really expensive at 10.8. That is really high. So I'm okay not signing him right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and get Hackman. Let's bring him... No, we're not... What are you trying to do to me, game? I'm not trying to get rid of him. You don't... No playing your fancy bullshit there. I'm trying to make me lose Spool. Yes, we do fielder for Hackman. Yes, we take a downgrade here. Yes, we pay more money. But, I mean, fielder came over as a B- or a low B, and he was only making 6.5, so... yeah, kind of can't really beat that price, honestly. Yeah, so let's just sign Hackman now. That's probably a dumb move, but yeah, I think we need to switch it up there at third base, try to get something going. And then we're good at catcher, we're good here. Yamamoto. Good there, and we're still got the reliever. Okay, let's go. Next round. Alright, Elsa Glenn to the Blowfish, replacing Oakley Stiffs. Aw, poor Oakley. He lost his job. Alright, everyone else is still here, surprisingly. Brooklyn Gonzalez, the former Overdogs ace, goes to the Grapplers. Felipe Fowl, the third baseman from the Blowfish, goes to the Jacks, replacing Hanzo Majiko. Hoven Bambino goes back to his original team, the Grapplers. Remember, he was released by the Wideloads into free agency before the end of last year, replacing Benchman Randy Mann. No pun intended there. And we'll go one more round. Get through the official halfway mark of free agency, round 16. Noah Kaiser goes to the Grapplers to strengthen the rotation. Jacks get Juniper Salinas, the former first baseman, for the Freebooters. Grapplers get Sammy Shigatani as well. Jameer Shoei is picked up by the Moonstars for Landon Fair. Okay. Bill Bupton signs to the Grapplers as he leaves. I forget what team he was on. I believe he was on the B-Wolves last season. Left them in free agency, replaces long reliever Holder Close. And Joey McFreddy, the former Sandcats center fielder, is going to the Jacks to fill the hole that Trips just left. Okay. Making a lot of moves this offseason, I see that. Well, that shortstop move really hurted us because I wanted Shoei more so than Boyd. Boyd is under $8 million now. I think I can sign him for that price, and we're going to get rid of Electro in that case. Michael still has more room to grow, even if he hasn't gotten a single offensive upgrade yet. Alrighty, sorry about that, guys. Loaded himself up a nightmare, so I had to take care of that real quick. But with the loss of Shelby in the free agent move last round, we're definitely going to go ahead and get Boyd here, just because we do need a better starting shortstop. Since we let go of the infielder, and that was his role, was being primary shortstop. So getting a little bit better upgrade there. It's going to cost us $3 million, but I don't think we really have a choice at this point. Boyd is going to come in, and Electro is going to go because Michael has more potential over Electro, even though he's never gotten an offensive upgrade to this point in his career. And with that, we're down to 8-4 in the budget department. And we still have to pay for a backup catcher. Remember that, we still have to pay a backup catcher. I think we can go one more round here. Lovelorn to the is released by the Grapplers, actually, for Lover Kim. Okay, I think he was on the hot corners. Let's see. Neverwalker goes to the Freebooters, replacing Tremendous Castillo. Okay. Neverwalker back to the Freebooters, looks like. Spectaculo also to the Freebooters, so they got Spectaculo and Neverwalker, the top two relievers in the free agent class. Ooh, Freebooters pen is stacked once more. McCarthy off the Overdogs for Slash Trips, the former MVP winner, going to the Overdogs. Dick Berger off the B-Wolves, replaced by Juice Jackson, so he leaves the Jacks to go to the other division, and be on the B-Wolves. Harmony Strauss goes to the Crocodons. Ooh. Replacing Morton Stanberg, so she takes Leonaire's roster spot. So Leonaire no longer has a home. The Overdogs get Gasser Morris as well to beef up their bullpen. They get rid of Linus Digby. Andrea Herrera, the rookie starter, goes to the Overdogs. Tough Lift is off the Jacks. Samer Perez is going to the Jacks. Okay. Poke Foster goes to the Jacks as well. He returns as their outfield slot off the bench. Shania Burns released by the Beagles for Elmo Slayer, so he goes to a division rival. And he only cost $22 million. He made a little bit more than he was making on the Heaters roster. Bella Mietball off the Overdogs for Lad Bradwick, the former Blowfish starter. Harold Williams goes from the Platypi to the Freebooters, so she's going cross-conference. Lover Cooper back to the Beewolves at third base. And Dig Eforto picked up to be on the bench for the Grapplers. Okay, so with that move there, with Perez leaving, we now have to go for backup catcher. We either go for Leonaire or we go for Blings. I think we go for the younger option here, which is Blings, and he's also cheaper, so we don't have to pay too much money. Still, he is making a little bit more than Perez was last year, but our hand was forced in this matter. We did not want to get him yet, but we don't have a choice. At least Blings comes in with a trade, so maybe we can work that to our advantage. But we're not really gaining much or losing much in the backup catcher spot. Just some, 2 years age difference. So with that, we are now down to $4.1 million in the budget. What do we got left? We still have the backup first baseman thing we need to deal with. We also still need a better third baseman, I think, than Herbert Hackman. Choices are Fielder and Yamamoto. We don't really have the money for either of them at the moment. Moving to the reliever. Despot is at 4.7, so he's cheaper than Pops. That would save us $900,000, actually $1.8 million. That is what you would pay a B- player, and you know what? I like the youth he'll bring, so I say we just trim it and get a little bit more money back here. So that put us at 5.9. Unfortunately, that's not enough for the budget, so we are going to need to make this move here and go for the backup first baseman. Obviously, Doherty won the spot over Butcher, so we are going to go for Macias here at $5 million. He'll take Butcher's spot. That's $5.2 million back in the budget as well. That'll put us at 11-1. That's actually a good starting amount for money-wise. And I don't want to risk him like dropping any lower and losing him, so let's just pick him up now. So Butcher is gone after a underwhelming rookie campaign. Made the move for first base. Obviously, Yamamoto's the only one I'm interested in trying to get moving forward. If he signs, it's no big deal. We'll just stick with Hackman for the time being, I suppose. We could see if fielder goes cheaper than Hackman. Maybe we'll bring him back. I didn't want to, but I might be forced to. But yeah, I think we're done making moves at this point other than the third base issue. And if anyone like gets released or anything like crazy. Hayata, I'm not really interested in. Again, low fielding there at third base. Jerry Caps to the B-Wolves, good for Jerry. Knocks Oxen to the Blowfish as their catcher. Dick Berger to the Blowfish. Maurice Bricks going to the hot corners. Okay, so the Crocodiles lose their ace. Interesting. Super Samson to the Blowfish. Razzie Dazzler replaced by Kelby King on the Blowfish. Jeb Jumps to the Heaters. They also get Wheat Waters. McCarthy to the B-Wolves. Towers back to the Sawteeth. He re-signs. Joanna Heater to the Blowfish. Okay. Alright, she's back there. I'm going to star the players we just released to see where they end up going. Obviously, Butcher is going to be the really big one. We want to see where she ends up going. Batsman, I don't think he's going to get picked up. I'm not worried about where he goes. Fielder's already starred. Electro, we'll see where he goes. I don't think he's going to get picked up, though. Raymondo, I do want to see where he ends up going. And I also want to see where Molly Pops goes as well. Yamamoto just got picked up by the Wide Loads for 9.7, so we're not going to upgrade third base anytime soon. Let's see, Stallion Johnson to the Moonstars. Wide Loads get John Renero. Good move there at shortstop, just no arm. Dante Walls released by the Wide Loads for Batch Wilson. Interesting, so they have to save some money. Nick Steele to the Moonstars. Klaus de Game, our former closer, goes to the Nemesis. Salvador Eden to the Wide Loads. He replaces Daxton Kruger, former Grapplers outfielder. Stern back to the Wide Loads as well. Melanie Moods to the Nemesis. Hugs Lovell to the Heaters. Cheyenne Hill gets picked up by the Sirloin, so she's going back across conference. She was on the Jacks last year. Chimo Gaspar finally leaves the Wide Loads. He's going to play shortstop for the Sandcats. Wide Loads get Oscar Ocherio. All right, right fielder. I like the name. Sandcats get Dirk Sportswood. Ooh, comes over from the hot corners. Okay. Morrow to the Moose. Good for him. Nacho Chris goes to the Sirloins, leaves the Moose. Alan Bowen, reliever to the Sandcats. Wade Hobbs leaves the Wide Loads. He goes to the Moose. Dominic Castillo picked up by the Sirloins. Candy Sweet goes back to the Sandcats. Rocket Ramon is released by the Nemesis for Joffrey Rockman to beef up the rotation. And Wide Loads get Yoink Sachs, former Herbisaurs center fielder. Sting McGee back to the Blowfish. Good for him. He replaces his old teammate, Harry Backman. Crocodiles get Carlton Starr. They bring back the veteran shortstop. All right, keep going here. Walls to the hot corners. Hicks to the Herbisaurs. Danny Vortex goes to the Heaters. He leaves the Crocodiles. Tracy Wicker's picked up by the hot corners. Daxton Kruger's going over to the Sirloins. Hot corners get Lou DeBaziz. They get rid of Kenneth Grouse, the young reliever, who's only 22, mind you. Meet Comley to the hot corners. Willie Bacon leaves the Platypi. He's going to the Crocs. Good for old Willie. Kenneth Grouse does intrigue me. I'll star him. I'll see what he falls to eventually. Leonard to the Overdogs, replacing Preston Adonis as they beef up the starting catcher role. Treymondo to the Crocs. Good job, Trey. Love to see it. They also get Elleroids and Ham Slamus. Okay, so they re-sign Ham. Crocodiles also get Madoka Hayata. They replace Andre Candela. Crocs making moves. Okay. All done that round. Ralph Blue to the Platypi. Utility Man replaces Snag Roper. Cash Basket to the Heaters. Places Kathy Cul-de-sac, former freebooter there. Nori Miyoshi released by the Hot Corners for Gustav Gustavsson. And the freebooters playthrough, Gustavsson ended up in the Hot Corners team, so that's actually pretty factual. Jules Bergman to the Grapplers, replacing Sammy Shigatani on the bench there. One more round to get through after this. Nobody picked up. Here we go. All in, fair warned. What is the answer? Who is the winner? Nobody. Okay, let's scroll up here and see if anyone was picked up in that last round of free agency here before the new season starts. So I think I'm happy with how things went in free agency. We started with $20.1 million. And we ended with 11.1, so we only spent $9 million. We did improve some spots on the team. Took steps back elsewhere, so looks like nobody was picked up in the last round either. They're all still out there ready for the pickings. Okay, good for them. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and sim up to our first game here. We're going to be the fourth game of the season here, it looks like, against the Platypi. What's our schedule look like, actually, before we do that? Alright, so we start with 3 home games, and then a road game, then a home game, then road, home, and then we go, wow, 5 road games in a row. That's a bad stretch there in the middle of the season. Then we finish it off with with a doubleheader, a final road game, and then our final home game. Who do we play this year? We play the Nemesis 3 times, we play the Overdogs twice, we play the Crocodons 3 times, we play the Jacks 3 times as well. We have 3 doubleheaders this year. We have doubleheader against the Nemesis, another doubleheader right after it against the Crocodons, and then another doubleheader back to back with that against the Jacks. Holy crap, well, at least they're not doing some stupid shit where we play someone in the opposite division twice this year, so that's nice. Hey, we'll get to see Treymondo this year. He's going to be the 3rd pitcher. Oh, God. In our 3rd game of the season. Alright, well, got our work cut out for us, I guess. Playing the Platypi first this year. Hey, at least it's a home game to kick off the season. But damn, 3 doubleheaders back to back to back. That's going to be fun to record. Nemesis win the first game 3-0. Blowfish shut out the Herbisaurs 1-0. And then looks like the Hot Corners winning 17 innings, 5-3 in endurance game there against the Moose. Alright, we're taking on the Platypi, so it's a non-divisional contest to start the year. On the pitching matchup, it's going to be the Aces. For the Platypi, that is right-hander Jalen Agro. I believe it's his 3rd year with the Platypi. And then on the other side, it is left-hander Jude Hokey, who's in his 4th year now with us, 4th year as the Ace. Still looking for his first win in 2 seasons. He did not have a single decision last year. He has not had a win since year number 3 of the series, yes. Alright, let's set the lineup and call it a day here. Alrighty. Leading off is going to be Swiner out in left field. Then it's Herbert Hackman, the new 3rd baseman. Worrymore will move back to right field. He'll bat 3rd. Oliver is the cleanup man behind the dish. Rookie Klaus Diaz, he's batting 5th at 2nd. Rookie shortstop Baca Boyd is batting 6th. He'll have his contact versus right-hander trait active, it looks like. Doherty will now be the everyday first baseman. She'll bat 7th, and Winkleson will bat 8th and center, with Hokie rounding us out on the mound. Alright, and then let's run you down the offseason here. I know Boyd's a rookie. Diaz is a rookie too, right? Yeah. Macias, he's a rookie. I know that. I checked him already. Alrighty, so let's run it down. What happened in the offseason for everybody who missed it, or just skipped to the end here? We definitely kept the core of the team together. We had to make some roster moves to beef it up. Obviously, we have a new third baseman in Herbert Hackman. He is a bit of a step back from Ian Fielder ratings-wise, but we really didn't need Ian anymore to play shortstop, especially since we did sign a shortstop. So, kind of didn't need Ian anymore. His valuableness to the team went down. Not to mention he didn't contribute much offensively anyway. So, outside of him, we have a new rookie second baseman, Class Diaz. He replaces Whopper Batsman on the roster, so rookie 20-year-old's going to look to start it up there at the middle infield position. We have a rookie shortstop in Baca Boyd, the he's a 19-year-old, isn't he? And he also already has 2 traits to boot in his back pocket, so he's ready to rip it up. So we have a rookie middle of the infield duo right there. Doherty now becomes the primary first baseman as Aaliyah Butcher is replaced with the backup rookie first baseman, 28-year-old Atticus Macias, as we needed some more cap money, so we had to cut Butcher, unfortunately. Other than that, that's it for the starting lineup. On the bench, we also have backup catcher Ernie Blings. He is replacing Samuel Perez, who decided to test free agency. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of good backup catcher options this year. Just happened to be that way. We went with Blings. He has a high pitch trait. He's a weaker fielder than Perez. Arm is about as weak as Perez's was. It's a little bit better, but not by much. But his trait helps his hitting ratings be a little bit better than Perez's, so we'll see how he works out. He's not going to play much, probably. Starting rotation, we bring back the top 3, Hokie, Andrews, and Bonventre. We signed rookie 19-year-old Trenton Deputy. Same overall rating as Trey Mondo with better ratings, so he is on the precipice of a B- already. Just one upgrade, I think he'll be there. And then in the bullpen, we return Greenman, Base, and Cuevas, and we bring in rookie Hesto Despot. Right-hander will take over for Molly Pops out there in the bullpen. Alrighty, this team is looking about like they did last year. We're still power hitters. We still have good defense. Our contact's a little higher. Speed is still weak. Rotation and bullpen are actually better than they were last year, so we are getting better. It's still a slow grind. This is still a young team at its core. They still have a room to grow, and there's probably going to be a little bit more growing pains, but I expect us to at least finish 500 this year. Maybe we can challenge for a playoff spot, but we won't know until we get into the season, and that will be for next episode. Made it this deep in the video, guys. Thank you so much. Obviously, I appreciate all the support as always. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me down here on Twitch. Button is below. And if you haven't already on YouTube, go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys, this is the Nasty One, signing off.